Hi everybody, it's January 26th, 2012, and I'm at Gage Park in Topeka, Kansas. Here is where one side of my family has had many reunions. This train track is mostly for kids. There's a small train that goes through the park. Over there is the Topeka Zoo, and this is the Rose Garden. Nothing's blooming now, but in the summertime it's really nice, and a lot of weddings are held here. Today I am doing this video for former students in South Korea, students and friends at this point. Cathy, Mia, Cecilia, Susan, for one of my classes that I had, really stand out in my mind. And also the E family, JongHo, NaEun, HyunJi, and SeungHyun. Great people, and really the best students I've ever had. Living in a suburb called Jukjeon, next to Bundan, which is where I lived the second time that I taught in South Korea. Several people have been doing videos about languages and language learning. Mainly Lisa Fleur, who did one on the Daily Motion, the French YouTube. And it brought to my mind that actually children are not always the best language learners, but a focused adult can perform even better than children can. I mainly worked with preschool age children, preschool and kindergarten, ages 3 to 5 in Western years, or 5 to 7 in East Asian years. There's a different way of measuring age there. Those kids typically learn very well through repetition and a lot of demonstration of vocabulary and other forms of drilling. But an adult, I had a cousin who was married here 15 years ago, I think. An adult can be much more focused if there are incentives to learn. All of the names I just mentioned, as I said, were the best students that I had ever had, and all of them were at least in their teenage years. And really, learning language comes down to 5 to 10 things in my experience. The first thing is you have to isolate your goal. You have to have a reason for why you're doing it beyond just wanting to have a feather in your cap or have something special. The next thing is to, I guess not be afraid. If you are worried about how people are going to respond to you, that will stop you. That has stopped me from becoming fluent in another language up until this point. And English speakers do not have the same motivation for learning language that other learners will, because almost everyone in the world who travels or is doing international business is learning English now, and that makes learning language a little difficult for English speakers because there is not the same reason. The next thing would be personality type. Many people learn different ways. Everybody learns different ways. And the communicative method that most people are learning with now is very suitable for extroverts, people who feel more comfortable speaking rather than writing or doing something on their own. And this is why the communicative method has become more popular, because by the nature of being extrovert, 75% of the population will be more comfortable with this method. Also, I think that just generally people who like challenges or want to try something else, I call them puzzle people, tend to do very well with language. People who want to think in a different way, more tolerant people. So really, when you find adult students who are willing to pick up another language or try something new in general, you realize that you're dealing with a special population. And today I just want to say thank you to those 8 names that I mentioned, because I did realize how valuable their knowledge and ideas were. And especially because it was Lunar New Year 2 days ago. And I'm sorry that I didn't send something beforehand. There's some really interesting dynamic people in the JongHo community. Cathy, for instance, took place in a protest when the housing development that several of the people I just mentioned moved into changed hands during the development phase, and investors came very close to losing their money. That's one example.